Tuesday was day one of mandatory minicamp, and that we saw that Frank Clark wasn't there. A lot of people were kind of suspicious as to why he wasn't there. But we found out that he's been excused for the whole entirety of mandatory minicamp. He's welcoming a baby. He's got a baby on the way. So congratulations, Frank Clark.
Congratulations.
I gotta say is one thing before we knew why he was excused, and this is something we've talked about on the shows, a need for an edge. Now, when we didn't know why he was excused, everyone was like, oh, I wonder why Frank's not there. And for me, just like looking at it, naturally, when I was thinking of topics for the show, I was like, wow, man, this honestly, if Frank's out for however long, we find out that, it's got a baby on the way. It's good news. But for the fact that, like, for whatever reason, it's NFL, guys miss games. If Frank Clark misses a game, I mean, it's like we're going to have Carl Loftus, a rookie, as our main edge guy. We're going to have, we have a lot of young guys in the room, but we don't know unproven guys. But, like, that's kind of scary. And seeing that, it's like, wow, I mean, what are we going to do? I mean, we need to bring in another edge guy. We thought we were going to have Ingram. We didn't get Ingram. And now, if you're the front office and you're seeing this, right? If Clark were to go down, we got Carl Loftus and, Mike Dana or Kane Doe, or a hodgepodge of guys who could fill that other edge role. I mean, don't you want to bring in a veteran edge just so we were never relying on an unproven guy to come in? I mean, I don't know. The NFL's got so many unproven guys that you're going to have to see these guys play at some point. But would you be taking more of a kind of a more keen eye on a possible another edge? I mean, what do you think about the situation? Because I feel like that situation is just such a big deal, having another edge guy.
Look, I think the Chiefs have a contingency plan. And I think they've talked to a couple guys out there. And the guys were saying, look, I'll come to training camp, right? Outside, and I'll see what you're going to do, see how y'all feel. But right now, I'm going to do my own workout. I'm, veteran guys, for the 1-year deal, I think that's probably what they've been talking to them. And so Frank being out, I don't think they're really panicking. If we get to training camp and we don't see nobody being signed in or, bringing a face, I'm starting to panic. Start getting before, preseason, that week or two before preseason. Hey, man, what's going on? If Frank going to be the guy? And the thing is, because I haven't really heard any grumblings about anybody else. Have you? No. As far as, talking about defensive end, like, oh, this guy looks spectacular. He was, immensely better than this guy. And I don't hear any of that. I don't hear any of that talk. So, if it has, then I'm sorry, I missed it. I don't know. And if you're doing well out there as a defensive end, or, hey, man, my fault. I haven't heard it. But I think, they're thinking, Frank definitely is going to be here. George is going to be a guy that's going to be able to give a lot. But like I said, I still think you need a guy. I still think you need that depth. And so, like you said, we got young guys, unproven guys. It could be scary. It could be scary, especially not seeing the progress that you assume guys should be making, especially during this time. And so, especially at the defensive end, we got to see flashes coming from you. I don't care. It's got to be a flash here and there. I need to start listening to the D-line coach and see what he's talking about and see what's going on. But I think they cemented, like you said, with the linebackers and secondary. But that doesn't mean a whole lot if you don't have a pass rush to give pressure or to stop the run. I mean, that's the whole reason the guys are effective, the second, tier in those layers. But I don't know, man. I think Frank, him being out, this deal is letting the young guys get opportunity to show what they can do even more. And so I think right now they're just going to be cutting the weeds down. They're just taking notes. Okay, he showed this, he showed that. How's he going to do being a starter when he comes in, right? Mm. And so if they're not really seeing anything, believe me, they're on the phone. Yeah. And if they're not, they better be. Okay. But I know they, they definitely, are pretty detailed as far as what they're going to do. Like I said, they're going to have a contingency plan in order if everything doesn't work out. And if they're not getting that, like what they want from those guys, start making some phone calls.
But you brought up a good point, though. As a former player, you talk about, there's a contingency plan. Veterans may not want to come now. They'll work out with their own people until the summer comes. The legit part of summer training camp and preseason. Mm-hmm. how big of a deal is that for veteran guys where like, they want their time off? They want to kind of not time off, but they want to kind of be away until that. Why is that a thing for a lot of veteran guys? They'll wait to sign their 1-year deal.
I think part of it is just kind of the monotony of doing things for a long time. If you've been going to training camps and been in, weight rooms and, meeting rooms, going over the same stuff, you're going to teach a guy about 4-3-3-4. You're like, oh man, that guy's like, shh. He's sitting over there like, man, I could be in Turks and Caicos right now, having me something on the beach. But I think it's part of it. Part of it is like, if they afford you that luxury, hey, by all means, take it. By all means, take it. I actually had, I had, kind of, with my own druthers itself. Like when I left from the Chiefs, I had a team that called me and they was just like, look, you can make a decision by training camp. We fine with that, Jason. I ain't got no problem with it. So they allow me to, make a decision. Hey, don't worry about it. Be good. We know what you can do. We already know that. No problem. Yeah. So we waiting on you. If you want to do it, it's here for you. And so she waited almost 2 years for me, just to see it. I was just like, hey man, I think I'm good. All right. So yeah, man, that's important. That's important for guys. Absolutely.
How much of that is as far as money, right? Like, for example, we want you, and we said we can wait. We'll let you wait till training camp, and we're talking about 1-year deal, a $2 million deal. But like, I guess my whole thing. Let's say JPP is our guy, right? That's the guy we want, and we're like, we're gonna let you wait till training camp to do that. Are you, as a GM, aren't I kind of scared that another team will come in and offer JPP a better deal? I mean, is that kind of risk you're taking by letting a player take that time to?
You could, but we know Spags got a rapport with JPP, right? Mm-hmm. And so if he's telling Spags like, hey man, look, I got you, right? And maybe other teams hadn't really been, ringing his, calling him. His phone's ringing from other teams. He's like, hey, look, if I want to go somewhere, I'm not going to a team that is losing. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna go to a team that's going to be a contender for the Super Bowl every single year. And so if I know this team is right up there in the upper echelons with the Chiefs are, that's the deal I'm gonna take, right? So I think, even if a guy like JPP gets signed, let's just say they do, okay, he's not going to be the only, card in the hand in the deck. He's not, right? So they're going to have other guys that they're probably knocking on doors, and just kind of, shaking the trees to see where guys are at. So I'm sure they got at least a list about 4 or 5 guys. That's part of the NFL. And so if you could put a finger on a guy and be like, hey, you just let you know, you don't have to come here for any of this. You're not going to get a, workout bonus. Look for you during the summer. I'll let you think about it. Okay. You let us know. And we got your number on speed dial. We need it. Guys are like, man, cool. I got you. All right. It happens. It happens a lot.
Yeah, no, I bet that's why you usually see a flurry of signings right before training camp.
Hey, look, the worst thing you could possibly do as a veteran guy is go in during mini camps and OTAs and somebody hits your knee or your foot or something, who's trying to make the roster. You're like, hey, man, now all of a sudden you done.
Yeah.
Right? You don't want to deal with that. You don't want to deal with that. You ain't no spring chicken. You ain't no new guy coming in, have to run gases, No.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get podcasts.